The late afternoon sun spilled golden light across the flawless lawns of Willow Creek Estates, casting long shadows that seemed to trace the neighborhood's rigid lines. This was a place obsessed with perfection, hedges trimmed to the inch, sprinklers humming in sync, houses painted in HOA-approved shades of beige and gray. It was peaceful, sure, but beneath the polished surface, there was a quiet tension, like a held breath. Most of that tension came from one house, number 17, home to Linda Harper. Linda wasn't just a resident. She was the HOA's unofficial queen, a woman in her 50s with sharp cheekbones and a permanent scowl, like she'd just tasted something bitter. She didn't just follow the HOA bylaws. She wielded them like a club, her thick rulebook always close at hand. Neighbors whispered about her behind closed doors, rolling their eyes and calling her the Karen of Willow Creek. She was the kind of person who'd measure your fence with a ruler and send you a 3-page email if it was half an inch too tall. On this particular afternoon, Linda stood at her Lee VY-ing room window, half hidden behind crisp white curtains, her eyes scanning the street like a hawk. That's when she saw 15-year-old Jamal Carter glide by on a skateboard, the wheels clacking against the sidewalk. Jamal was all lean energy and easy grace, VYing down the path with the carefree VYB of a kid enjoying the day. He lived a few houses down with his mom, Dr. Alicia Carter, a respected FAA regional director who kept to herself, showing up politely at community events but never lingering. To Linda, though, Jamal's skateboard wasn't just a kid's toy, it was chaos on wheels, a threat to the pristine order she fought to maintain. Yesterday, Linda had cornered the Lopez family by their mailbox, lecturing them about their new fence panels being a quarter-inch too high, her voice dripping with fake patience. Last week, she'd targeted the Wilsons' quirky garden gnomes, firing off an email to the HOA board with photos and highlighted bylaws. Her power came from her relentless nitpicking, her knack for turning tiny infractions into full-blown crusades. She documented everything: a shrub too bushy, a car parked an inch over the line, with the precision of a detective building a case. Today, her laser focus locked onto Jamal. As he neared her property, his board skidded slightly, Leah VYing a faint black scuff on the sun-bleached sidewalk. It was nothing, a mark so small it'd vanish with the next rain. But to Linda, it was an insult, a deliberate jab at her perfect world. Her lips pressed into a thin white line, her eyes narrowing. She watched Jamal skate on, oblivious to the storm brewing behind her window. This wasn't the first time the Carters had crossed her. Their recycling bin had once sat curbside past the 7 p.m. deadline. Alicia's car sometimes parked a hair over the line at the community pool. Tiny oversights, but in Linda's mental ledger, they were proof of defiance. Jamal, with his easy smile and skateboard, embodied everything she resented: youth, freedom, a life that didn't bow to her rules. She turned from the window, her mind racing. Words hadn't worked. Her emails to the HOA about hazardous skateboarding had been ignored. She needed something bolder, something to make Jamal and everyone else understand. Her gaze drifted to the garage door. There, tucked behind neatly stacked bins, was her high-end quadcopter drone. She'd bought it last year, claiming it was for property surveillance. In truth, she used it to spy on backyards, logging footage of unapproved sheds or overgrown gardens. Now a darker idea took shape. In the garage, Linda worked with chilling focus. She pulled the drone from its case, its black frame gleaming under the fluorescent lights. From a toolbox, she grabbed small, razor-sharp blades meant for a lawn edger. With steady hands, she taped 2 blades to the drone's underside, securing them with zip ties. The sleek machine was now a weapon, its rotors ready to spin those blades into a blur. She checked the battery full charge. The remote screen flickered on, showing the workbench from the drone's camera. This wasn't just about a scuff mark anymore, she told herself. This was about control, about teaching respect. Meanwhile, Jamal reached the cul-de-sac, trying a kickflip and laughing when he wobbled. The sun warmed his arms, the familiar rumble of his wheels a steady rhythm. He had no idea that 3 houses away, Linda was carrying her modified drone to her back patio, hidden behind a tall fence. She powered it on, the rotors humming, then whining as they spun faster. Her knuckles whitened on the controls. It was time. The drone lifted smoothly, hovering 10 feet up. Jamal was skating back now, relaxed, enjoying the glide. Then he heard Ida's sharp, high-pitched whine, like an angry wasp, growing louder. He glanced back, expecting a delivery drone or a kid's toy. What he saw made his blood run cold. A black drone was DVYing toward him, fast and deliberate, its blades glinting in the sun. This wasn't a mistake. It was hunting him. Panic surged. Jamal pushed off hard, crouching low, his board speeding up. The drone's whine grew louder, closer, the air turbulent behind him. He stole another glance. Those blades were inches from the ground, spinning VY-siously. He veered onto a neighbor's lawn, hoping the grass would slow it. The drone didn't flinch, dipping lower, its blades skimming the turf. Jamal swerved back to the street, his legs burning, heart pounding. He fumbled for his phone, hands shaking, and called his mom. "Mom, help me," he gasped. "There's a droney, it's got knives." Inside her home, Alicia Carter sat at her dining table, surrounded by aeronautical charts and her FAA laptop. Her job was high stakes, managing airspace safety across several states. Malik's call jolted her. His voice was raw with fear, the drone's whine clear over the line. "Blades?" she repeated, her training kicking in even as dread gripped her. "Where are you, Jamal?" "Almost Homeowners Street. It's right behind me." His voice broke. Alicia shot up, paper scattering. Through her window, she saw Ida, dark shape, chasing her son, blades flashing. This wasn't a toy. It was an illegal, weaponized UAV. She grabbed her laptop, already logged into the FAA's secure network, and activated an emergency protocol. "This is Regional Director Carter," she said into her headset, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Initiating emergency airspace restriction over Willow Creek. Active hostile UAV, low altitude, pursuing a CIVYLN. Priority Alpha." The system sprang to life. Alerts flashed in control centers. Police radios crackled. A no-fly zone snapped into place over Willow Creek. Jamal sprinted up his driveway, kicking his board aside and bursting through the door. Alicia caught him, holding him tight as he trembled. Outside, the drone hovered, uncertain, its target gone. From her window, Linda watched, sweat beading on her brow. She saw Jamal vanish inside. Doubt flickered had she gone too far, but her anger surged back. They needed to learn. She moved to recall the drone, but sirens wailed, closing in. 2 patrol cars screeched onto the street, lights flashing. Officers jumped out, spotting the drone. One grabbed a jamming to VYC, another aimed a net launcher. Linda's controls went dead. The drone wobbled, then plummeted, tangled in the net, landing on her lawn. Officers knocked on Linda's door. She opened it, feigning confusion. "Is there a problem?" she asked, voice syrupy. "We need to talk about your drone," the officer said, pointing to the bagged UAV, blades still attached. "The one chasing a kid." Linda paled, but doubled down. "That boy scuffed my sidewalk. He was reckless. I was enforcing standards." "Reckless," the officer snapped. "You hunted him with a bladed drone." The FAA's involved Regional Director Carter, his mom, called it in. "This is federal." Linda's world tilted. Alicia was FAA? Her righteous facade crumbled. "You have the right to remain silent," the officer began, cuffs clicking. Linda Harper, Willow Creek's tyrant, was led to the patrol car, stunned. The investigation exploded. The drone's memory card held hours of footage of Jamal skating, the Lopez's kids' windows at night, the Wilson's garden. It wasn't just Jamal. Linda had stalked minority families for months, her drone a tool of fear. Charges piled up: assault, endangerment, federal of Asian violations, even domestic terrorism. Alicia's expertise sealed the case, detailing Linda's breaches of airspace laws. At trial, the footage played Jamal's terrified face, the Lopez's windows, the Wilson's garden. Jamal testified, voice steady now, recounting the chase. Alicia explained the drone's lethality. The Lopez's and Wilsons spoke of levying in fear. Linda's defense claiming she was just a diligent HOA member collapsed. Her testimony, defiant and unrepentant, alienated the jury. They convicted her in hours. The judge didn't hold back. "You weaponize technology to terrorize your neighbors," he said. Linda got years in federal prison, her house and assets seized for VYTIM restitution. Willow Creek exhaled. The HOA reformed, new leaders focusing on community, not control. The Lopezes raised their fence. The Wilsons' gnomes returned. Jamal skated again, scars fading. Alicia's quick thinking had saved her son and exposed a predator. Willow Creek healed, slowly. Number 17 stood empty, a reminder of what prejudice and power could do. The sun still cast shadows, but they felt lighter now, falling on a neighborhood learning to live again.